Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I am your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. You can follow the show on Twitter at Cup of Joe Pod, and yes, I'm still saying Twitter, not saying X. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. Support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. Folks, I'm continuing to dig myself out of my work hole that I have been dug into, not of my own volition, I might say. But that's the way that it goes sometimes. Today, we look at Insurrextion 2001 from the WWF. Insurrextion 2001 took place May 5th, 2001 from Earl's Court Exhibition Centre in London, England. There were 16,284 in attendance. We start out with our WWF Attitude logo. William Regal is shown on the phone telling Kurt Angle that he has to come to the arena right away. He tells Kurt that all the matches have been changed. Everything is upside down. Vince McMahon comes in as Regal hangs up and says it's all going to Regal's head. He wants to know why Regal made all the changes in the matches, and Regal says he didn't do any of this. Vince asks who did, and Regal says it was Linda. Vince says that's it, no more changes. He doesn't take orders from his wife. Linda McMahon appears behind Vince. Vince backs off but asks her why she made the changes, and she said the UK fans deserve to see the best. She says that the main event hasn't changed because The Undertaker wanted to get his hands on both Triple H and Steve Austin. Vince puts on a happy face and ushers Linda out. Vince then pitches a fit after she leaves, and you can hear the fans chant asshole. Vince says he's worried about catching foot and mouth disease. Write your own jokes here, folks. We then get our intro. Michael Cole and Paul Heyman welcome us to Insurrextion and talk about the changes to the card. Eddie Guerrero versus Grandmaster Sexay Brian Christopher. I'm going to refer to him as Brian Christopher because it feels weird for me to call him either Grandmaster or Sexay. Guerrero jumps Christopher before the bell. Guerrero with a snapmare. He grinds his boot on Christopher's face. Guerrero puts on Christopher's sunglasses. He then throws them out to the audience. Christopher comes back with an Irish whip and a power slam. Guerrero reverses a corner whip, and Christopher gets his boot up on a Christopher corner charge. Christopher with a missile drop kick from the second rope. Guerrero rolls to the outside, and Christopher hits a baseball slide to knock Guerrero down. Christopher starts dancing, and Guerrero attacks him from behind. Guerrero then mocks Christopher by dancing. He isn't paying attention, and Christopher rolls him up and gets a 2 count. Guerrero with a clothesline. Guerrero with an Irish whip. Christopher slides through his legs. Guerrero grabs his leg. Christopher does an enziguri. Christopher with an Irish whip and a big back body drop. Christopher follows it up with a clothesline. Guerrero reverses a corner whip and flips Christopher face first into a turnbuckle. Christopher with a super kick for a 2 count. Christopher with a power bomb. Christopher goes up top. He puts his goggles on, but Guerrero moves as he goes for the leg drop. An Eddie Sucks chant goes out. Guerrero goes up top, but gets caught and slammed off. Guerrero moves on a Christopher corner charge. Guerrero rolls Christopher up and gets the pin with his foot on the ropes. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon shown backstage. Triple H says that tonight, The Undertaker is going to take his last ride. The Radicals, Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko and Terry versus Crash, Hardcore, and Molly Holly. Terry gets on the mic and says this country didn't have anything for her for wrestling boots or anything, and she's not wrestling in a skimpy outfit. The bell rings and the men are fighting on the outside of the ring. Molly grabs Terry inside the ring. They slap each other and Molly takes Terry down with a suplex and then does the big swing on her. Saturn and Hardcore now in the ring slugging it out. Hardcore with an Irish whip and a clothesline. Saturn reverses an Irish whip, but Hardcore slips behind and delivers a back suplex to Saturn. He gets a 2 count. Saturn with a clothesline. Hardcore reverses an Irish whip and hits a drop kick. Hardcore goes for a roll up, but Saturn holds on to the ropes. Hardcore kicks Saturn in the groin. Crash tagged in. Corner whip and a clothesline to Saturn. Gets a 2 count. Saturn with a backdrop and Malenko tagged in. Crash with a drop toe hold. Crash with a corner whip, but Malenko gets his boot up on the charge. Crash with a power slam. Hardcore tagged in. Hardcore misses a corner charge and gets clotheslined by Saturn from the apron. Malenko stopping Hardcore. Saturn tagged in. gets a brainbuster for a 2 count. Saturn with a rear chin lock. Crash runs Saturn into the corner to get out. Saturn with a release suplex. Saturn misses the top rope elbow drop. Hardcore with the backdrop. Hardcore pushes Saturn off and Crash tagged in. He hits a flying forearm to Saturn. He then hits a tilt-a-whirl leg scissors. Malenko comes in and Crash gives him a DDT. Saturn with a big clothesline to Crash. Saturn puts Crash on the top rope. Crash pushes off and hits a top rope Hurricane Rana. Malenko breaks up the count. Crash with a springboard bulldog. Terry comes in to break it up. Molly takes her down. The men pull them apart. Saturn hits a fisherman suplex to pin Crash. William Regal is shown touring England. William Regal shown on his phone talking to his uncle. He says he's the only English hero left. Paul Heyman and Michael Cole talk about the next UK pay-per-view, Rebellion. They then show the Big Show injuring Test on SmackDown. The Big Show comes down to the ring. Lyndon McMahon had canceled his match with Test. The Big Show called him a coward and said Test should come down and face him. Test comes down dressed in street clothes, limping and holding his ribs. Test gets on the apron to take his shirt off and his ribs are taped up. Big Show attacks him. Test ducks a clothesline and hits some shots. Big Show grabs him and throws him into a corner. Test ducks a forearm and hits some shots and forearms. Big Show reverses a corner whip and hits a side slam on Test. Big Show then drops some knees on Test's ribs. He drops an elbow on the ribs. He drives Test down with a forearm shot. More referees come out and tell Big Show to stay away as they check on Test. Big Show gets the mic and says this is an example to everybody that no one can stop him one-on-one. He starts to walk up the aisle and Bradshaw comes down to meet him. He and Big Show fight down the aisle. They get into the ring and it's officially a match. The Big Show versus Bradshaw. Big Show with a sidewalk slam to Bradshaw. Big Show with the big headbutt. Big Show with an elbow to the back of the head. EMT personnel come down to check on Test at ringside. Big Show with a corner whip and charge, but Bradshaw gets his boot up. Bradshaw with some big right hands and goes for an Irish whip, but Big Show reverses it and clotheslines Bradshaw in the corner. He misses an elbow drop. Bradshaw goes up top. Top rope shoulder blocks knocks the Big Show down. Bradshaw tries for an Irish whip, but the Big Show turns and grabs Bradshaw's throat. He goes for the choke slam, but Bradshaw holds on to the top rope so Big Show knocks Bradshaw to the outside. Big Show clotheslines Bradshaw outside. Big Show grabs a chair. He shoves the referee into a barricade. He goes and headbutts Test again as they are taking him away. He throws Test into the ring and picks up the chair again. Test blocks being hit with the boot to the chair. That hits Big Show. Bradshaw comes in and hits the clothesline from hell and gets the 3 count. Coach interviews Steve Austin and Austin asks how stupid The Undertaker is. He says The Undertaker's career is going to end in a piece of crap country. Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley versus Edge and Christian versus Matt and Jeff Hardy versus X-Pac and Justin Credible with Albert. 4-team elimination match. Credible and Bubba Ray start. They trade shots. Bubba Ray corner whips Credible into the corner. Bubba Ray with a hip toss and a slam to Credible. Credible tags Matt in. Bubba Ray tags Christian in. They lock up. Matt with a side headlock. Christian pushes off. Matt with a shoulder block. Back and forth. Christian with a leapfrog and a drop kick to Matt. Christian with an Irish whip, but drops his head and Matt kicks him in the head and gets a takedown. He tags Jeff in and they double kick Christian in the corner. Christian comes back with some forearm shots to Jeff. Edge tagged in. He punches and kicks Jeff. Irish whips Jeff, but misses a clothesline and Jeff comes back with a crossbody for a 2 count. Edge with the back elbow. He tags X-Pac in. X-Pac attacks Jeff. Jeff fights back and reverses an Irish whip. X-Pac reverses it back and misses a clothesline. Jeff comes back with a Hurricane Rana. Jeff tags Matt in and they hit X-Pac with a double back elbow. That gives a 2 count. X-Pac with a corner whip to Matt and Albert and Credible grab his legs and post him in the corner. Paulie says that's going to ruin Lita's night, and I laughed out loud. X-Pac hits a shoulder tackle to Matt in the corner. X-Pac with a Bronco Buster to Matt in the corner. He stomps down on Matt and tags Credible in. He beats Matt down and X-Pac tag back in. Matt ducks a double clothesline and hits one of his own on X-Pac and Credible. Jeff tagged in. He drop kicks X-Pac and Credible. He then hits Edge and Christian in the corner with clotheslines. Jeff hits Poetry in Motion on Credible. The Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian in and fight each other on the outside. Jeff goes for Poetry in Motion to X-Pac, but he moves. X-Pac Irish whips Matt, who reverses it, hits the Twist of Fate on X-Pac. He covers X-Pac. Albert comes in to splash Matt, who moves, and Albert splashes X-Pac. Jeff hits the Swanton Bomb on X-Pac. He pins X-Pac and X-Factor is eliminated. Credible and Albert pull Matt out of the ring and start beating him. Christian hits the unprettier on Jeff. He pins Jeff. The Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian all battling in the ring. Edge and Christian corner whipped into each other and knocked down. Double flapjack by the Dudleys on Christian. Devon with a power slam on Christian. That gets a 2 count. Devon punching Christian in the corner and Edge comes up and guillotines Devon when the ref isn't looking. Christian with a backbreaker on Devon. Edge tagged in. Edge hits a standing drop kick. Gets a 2 count. Christian tagged in. Devon in the wrong corner as a table chant goes out. Edge tagged back in. Devon corner whipped. Devon with some right hands to Edge and gets a drop toe hold on Devon and tags Christian in. A "We Want Tables" chant goes out. Christian with the front face lock and tags Edge in. Edge puts Devon on the top turnbuckle. Edge goes for the superplex, but Devon throws him off. Devon with the top rope clothesline. Bubba Ray tagged in, but the referee didn't see it. Devon back in the wrong corner. Christian with a backbreaker. He gets a 2 count, but Bubba Ray breaks it up. Devon fighting back. Reverses a corner whip, but Christian gets his elbow up on the corner charge. Devon with a reverse body slam. Both Bubba Ray and Edge tagged in. Bubba Ray cleans house. A stun gun to Edge. Irish whip and a back body drop to Christian. Sidewalk slam to Edge gets a 2 count. Bubba bomb to Christian. He slams Edge. He holds Edge and Devon hits the "What's up?" Bubba Ray calls for the table. Edge and Christian go to baseball slide into the table, but the Dudleys lift it and Edge and Christian spill to the outside. Then the Dudleys hit Edge and Christian with the table. They set Christian up for the 3D, but Edge pulls Christian to the outside. Out of nowhere, Rhino comes in and gores Bubba Ray while the ref isn't looking, allowing Edge to pin Bubba Ray. Rhino sets the table up. Spike Dudley comes in to do the Dudley Dog on Rhino, but he counters. Christian goes for a corner charge, but Spike ducks and does the Dudley Dog on Edge using Christian and Rhino as a ramp. Dudleys throw Christian out and do the 3D on Rhino through the table. A video of the Insurrextion charity dinner for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Coach interviews Kurt Angle. He says after he breaks Chris Benoit's ankle and wheel, he's going to take his gold medals back. The right to censor comes to ringside. Steven Richards says the country should be ashamed of themselves. He says that people should come to see Big Ben and the London Bridge, not to see a naked woman on the Daily News which is sold to children. He says he's going to stand up for England. He says he's going to censor the ladies' battle royal so it's canceled. He calls the ladies to come out and show that they can change their ways. Miss Jackie out first, then Trish Stratus. Lita out next. Ivory calls them all street corner slappers. Jackie drop kicks Ivory and Richards. Lita and Jackie give Ivory a double flapjack. The women then strip Ivory of her clothes and she runs to the back in her underwear. Richards gets on the mic and berates the crowd for cheering that and says that the crowd needs him and not the encouragement of hussies. Stratus starts to come on to Richards before giving him a low blow. The ladies pull his pants down to his ankles and Jackie gives him a DDT. Lita then does a moonsault on Richards. Richards then gets out of the ring and hobbles away. Flashback to the Chris Benoit-Kurt Angle rivalry. 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle. Angle says he wants his medals back. Benoit says they're in a very safe and warm place. They lock up. It goes to the corner and the referee breaks it up. They circle each other. Benoit with a hip toss. Angle with a takedown. A series of reversals with both trying to gain the advantage. Benoit with a waist lock. Angle drives him backwards and delivers a series of elbows to Benoit. They circle each other again. On the mat now, both struggling for position. Benoit going for the crippler crossface. Angle rolls to the outside. Back in, the jockey for position again, and Angle goes for the ankle lock. Benoit gets to the ropes, then pushes off with his legs, and Angle goes to the outside. Angle tells the referee Tim White to make Benoit get back until he can get in. Benoit with an Irish whip and goes for a knee to the midsection, but Angle hooks the leg and rolls Benoit up for a 1 count. Benoit goes for the crossface, but Angle quickly gets to the ropes. Angle rolls outside and Benoit follows and gives chase. Angle slides back in and stomps Benoit when he gets in. Benoit reverses a corner whip, but Angle gets his elbow up on a Benoit charge. Benoit tries again and Angle gives him a stun gun on the corner turnbuckle. Angle drags Benoit's head over the ring apron and delivers a shot to it. Angle sucks chant goes out. Angle with a snap suplex to Benoit. Gets another 1 count. Angle stomping Benoit. Benoit goes for a corner whip, but Angle holds on and delivers a belly-to-belly suplex. Benoit comes back with a belly-to-belly of his own. Both men down and the referee is counting. They trade shots, then Benoit starts chopping Angle's chest. Benoit goes for an Irish whip. Angle holds on and tries for a clothesline. Benoit ducks and delivers 3 snap suplexes a la Dynamite Kid, ending with slamming Angle down belly first on the top rope. Benoit drags Angle back in. Benoit with a corner whip and 3 German suplexes. Benoit goes up top and delivers a flying headbutt. He gets the first fall. Second fall, it goes outside and Angle sends Benoit into the ring steps. Angle rolls in to stop the count, then goes after Benoit again. He brings Benoit back into the ring and puts him on the top rope and delivers a belly-to-belly off the top rope. That gets a close 2 count. Angle with a back suplex for another 2 count. Angle with a headlock. Benoit fighting on the mat to get out of it. Benoit gets back to his feet and delivers some chops to Angle. Angle reverses a corner whip, but Benoit gets a boot on Angle's face on the corner charge. Benoit then comes out of the corner and walks into a belly-to-belly suplex. That gets a 2 count. Angle goes for a back suplex, but Benoit turns in midair and lands on Angle for a 2 count. Angle with some shots. Angle with an Irish whip. Benoit comes back and gets a small package for a 2 count. Angle with some shots to Benoit in the corner. Benoit reverses it and starts chopping Angle. Angle then reverses it and chops and hits Benoit. Benoit with some kicks to get out of the corner. Angle rakes the eyes. Angle with a whip, but he misses a clothesline. Benoit with a kick and a DDT. Benoit tries for an Irish whip, but Angle holds on and goes for the Angle slam. But Benoit slides out. Benoit with a corner whip and 3 German suplexes. Benoit goes up top and goes for the headbutt, but Angle moves. Double count going as both men are down. Back up and Angle shoves Benoit into the ropes and does a drop toe hold and goes for the ankle lock. Benoit turns and counters with the crossface. Angle rolls out of it. Angle with a takedown, but Benoit rolls through to pin Angle in 2 straight falls. Angle dejected. Benoit gets on the mic and says he's true to his word. He then pulls the medals from his pants. He puts the medals around his neck. Angle gives chase. Steve Austin, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon are shown backstage. Austin calls Deborah in. He tells her to get him a water. Triple H says to get him one too. Stephanie asks for a chamomile tea with lemon and 1 lump of sugar. Deborah says she's not their little errand girl. She says they need to think about The Undertaker. Paul Heyman and Michael Cole talk about the main event as well as the Chris Jericho-William Regal match. Flashback to what has led up to the next match. Queen's Cup match. William Regal versus Chris Jericho. Jericho with a good reaction coming out. They lock up and Regal with a side headlock. Jericho with a wrist lock. Regal tries to get out. Jericho with a takeover. Jericho with a shot to the face of Regal. Jericho with a side headlock. Jericho with a hammerlock. Regal reverses. Regal goes to throw Jericho out over the top rope, but Jericho holds on, climbs up top, and hits an elbow drop on Regal. Jericho with a baseball slide to Regal, who rolls out of the way. Jericho chopping Regal. He runs Regal into the barricade. He puts Regal back in, goes up top, and delivers a crossbody to Regal. Gets a 2 count. Jericho with kicks to Regal's midsection in the corner. Corner whip by Jericho. Regal comes out and tries to roll Jericho up, but Jericho rolls through and goes for the walls of Jericho. Regal pushes off. Regal with a boot to the midsection of Jericho and runs Jericho into the ring post shoulder first. Regal working on Jericho's shoulder. Regal with an armbar. Jericho fights back to his feet with a series of forearm shots. Jericho with a corner whip, but Regal gets his leg up. Regal goes to the second rope and waves to the fans, allowing Jericho to hit him with a drop kick. Jericho then performs a top rope Hurricane Rana on Regal. He gets a close 2 count. Jericho with some chops to Regal. Jericho with an Irish whip, but Regal ducks the clothesline and a drop kick and slingshots Jericho throat first onto the top rope. Regal with a released German suplex and Jericho dumped on his head. Regal with a series of knees to the head of Jericho. Regal waves to the crowd. Regal stomping Jericho's head. Regal puts the $1 Million Dream on Jericho. Jericho fighting it. Jericho with some elbows to get out, but Regal comes back with an elbow of his own. He gets a 2 count. Irish whip by Regal. He misses a clothesline, but hits a back elbow. Regal gets Jericho over by the apron and slams his head down. He delivers a forearm shot that knocks Jericho to the outside. He runs Jericho into the corner post. He throws Jericho back in the ring and stomps him. He drives his hands into Jericho's midsection. Jericho coming back with some shots. Jericho reverses an Irish whip and comes back with a sunset flip. That gets a 2 count. Regal with a clothesline. Gets a 2 count. Back to the $1 Million Dream. Jericho's arm doesn't fall the 3rd time as he starts to mount a comeback. Jericho back up with some shots to the ribs. Jericho backdrops Regal. He rolls Regal up for a 2 count. Regal with a back elbow. Regal ties Jericho up in the ropes. He delivers punches to Jericho's head. Jericho delivers a kick to Regal while still tied up in the ropes. Regal with a suplex. He gets a 2 count. Regal puts on a version of the abdominal stretch to a sitting Jericho. Jericho fighting to get out. He makes it to his feet and Regal delivers a forearm shot. They then trade shots. Jericho with an elbow and a corner whip. Regal gets his knee up on the charge. Jericho hits an enziguri. Both men down. Double count going. Both up at 7. Jericho with some shots. Regal reverses an Irish whip, but Jericho with a kick when Regal drops his head. Jericho with a clothesline. He hits a missile drop kick. He gets a 2 count. Regal reverses a whip. Jericho coming back with a flying forearm. Jericho goes for the bulldog. Regal ducks. Jericho with a shot and gets the bulldog. Jericho goes for the lion salt, but Regal gets the knees up. Regal with a slam and a close 2 count. Jericho bashes in the corner and Regal goes for another release German, but Jericho counters with a roll up into the walls of Jericho. Regal taps and Jericho wins the Queen's Cup. Referee Teddy Long presents Jericho with the Queen's Cup. Jericho lifts the cup up and Regal nails him from behind. He attacks Jericho with the cup. He beats Jericho out of the ring to the floor and waves to the fans. We don't deserve William Regal. Flashback to what led to the main event. Main event handicap match. The Undertaker versus Steve Austin and Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Triple H and Stephanie out first. Austin is out next. Undertaker comes out on a motorcycle to Rollin. Austin and Triple H waiting for him. Undertaker sizing them up before he gets in the ring. Undertaker grabs a chair. He comes into the ring and the other two bail out. Now they are trying to figure out how to get into the ring. Triple H manages to get in and attack the Undertaker from behind as the bell rings. Now Austin and Triple H attacking Undertaker with stomps in the corner. They trade off, hitting Undertaker with shots to the corner. Double team Irish whip to Undertaker, who ducks the double clothesline and comes back with a double clothesline of his own. He trades off, hitting both heels with shots. He hits a side slam to Austin and knocks Triple H to the outside. Undertaker goes to chokeslam Austin, but Triple H drags him outside. Undertaker and Triple H exchange shots outside. Undertaker bashes Triple H's head against the ring steps. They start fighting up the aisle. Undertaker with an elbow that knocks Triple H down. Austin jumps Undertaker from behind. Austin bringing Undertaker up the ramp. Austin goes to pile drive Undertaker on the ramp, but Undertaker reverses it and backdrops Austin on the ramp. Undertaker starts hitting Triple H again. Triple H goes to run Undertaker into the barricade, but he blocks it and runs Triple H in again. Undertaker starts taking the announce desk apart. Triple H gets some kicks in. Triple H tosses Undertaker back into the ring. Undertaker reverses an Irish whip and backdrops Triple H. Undertaker then does old school. He gets a 2 count. Undertaker then with shots to Triple H in the corner. Triple H reverses an Irish whip and hits a hard right to Undertaker. Undertaker ducks under and comes back with a DDT. Double count going. Undertaker covers. Austin breaks it up. Triple H with an Irish whip. Undertaker ducks a clothesline, but Triple H hits him with a high knee. Austin tagged in. He stomps Undertaker. Austin delivers shots to Undertaker in the corner. Austin with an Irish whip. Undertaker ducks a clothesline, but Austin hits the Thesz press. Austin then drops an elbow on Undertaker, and then 2 more, but Undertaker grabs his throat on the last one. Triple H comes in and gets a boot from the Undertaker. Austin misses a shot, and Undertaker goes for a chokeslam, but gets hit from behind by Triple H. Irish whip and both Undertaker and Triple H down after a double clothesline. Double count going. Stephanie gets in the ring to yell at referee Earl Hebner. Austin goes out and gets a chair. Austin nails Undertaker with the chair. Triple H covers Undertaker, but he kicks out on 2. Austin tagged in. He knocks Undertaker to the outside. Triple H runs Undertaker into the ring post. He rolls Undertaker back in and Austin stomps on him. Austin has his boot on Undertaker's throat. The referee pulls him off and Triple H takes a shot to Undertaker's head on the apron. Austin covers, but Undertaker kicks out on 2. Then another 2 count. Triple H tagged in and hits Undertaker with a shot to the head. Then more shots to Undertaker in the corner. Undertaker coming back with right hands. Triple H with an Irish whip and gets a sleeper on Undertaker. Undertaker slowly going down. Undertaker on the mat and Triple H using the ropes for leverage behind the referee's back. Undertaker trying to get out. A Taker chant goes out. Undertaker's arm doesn't go down for the 3rd time and he gets a handful of Triple H's hair. He gets up. Austin tagged in and Undertaker goes to put the sleeper on him, but Austin counters with a back suplex. Austin goes to the second rope, but Undertaker catches him with a shot coming off. Undertaker reverses an Irish whip, but Austin with a kick when Undertaker puts his head down too early. Triple H tagged in. Triple H with shots to Undertaker's head. Triple H with an Irish whip and a back elbow. Triple H goes up top, but Undertaker gets a boot to his head as he comes off. Austin tagged in. Undertaker with a back elbow. Undertaker with a corner whip and an elbow. He hits Triple H with a clothesline. Austin knocked to the outside. Triple H knocked on to the outside. Undertaker runs Austin into the barricade. Triple H comes over, but Undertaker grabs him by the throat and chokeslams him into the announcer's table, which collapses. Austin attacks Undertaker from behind. They roll back in. Austin goes for the stunner. Undertaker pushes off and hits a big boot. Undertaker goes for the chokeslam. Austin with a boot to the gut of Undertaker, and he does the leapfrog body guillotine to Undertaker. Undertaker reverses an Irish whip and chokeslams Austin. Undertaker is bleeding on the side of his face. He gets a 2 count, but Triple H breaks it up. Triple H goes for the pedigree. Undertaker counters and slingshots Triple H and Austin. Undertaker with an Irish whip to Triple H, who comes back with a facebuster. Triple H with a clothesline. Vince McMahon comes down to ringside. He goes to hit Undertaker, but he ducks and Triple H gets hit instead. Vince gets chokeslammed. Triple H gets chokeslammed. Undertaker then pins Triple H. Austin then chokeslam. Undertaker hits Triple H and Austin and McMahon while they are prone on the mat. He collapses against the ropes exhausted. He then raises his arms to cheers as he gets out of the ring. He gets on his motorcycle. He rides to the top of the ramp and raises one fist as they sign off from England. Final thoughts. This was an interesting show and something for the crowd in England to get excited about. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.